that Clarissa had been forced to close off 3/4 of the house and lease acres of parkland to their neighbours for grazing sheep. Meanwhile, Rupert had purchased a townhouse in Brighton and renovated his country house in Shropshire twice, all while demanding that Grandmama make do with a fraction of the funds he'd promised. Rupert's callousness toward the Dowager Lady Darnham made Clarissa's blood boil. But she had little recourse. He was an earl. Clarissa was a poor relation who, until this year, had been the oldest, dustiest wallflower in the marriage mart.
"Have you decided whether you'd like another season, dear?"
Clarissa sighed and plucked up a pen. "Does one have a 10th season? I should think such longevity warrants a more grandiose term. Jubilee, perhaps. We could arrange confetti."
"Oh, pooh! Numbers are unimportant. Last season you were a spectacular success."
Yes, after years of spectacular failure. But she didn't bother pointing out what they both knew. Instead, she brushed a silver wisp from her grandmother's wrinkled cheek and replied gently, "I don't see how we can afford it, Grandmama." Smile-shaped creases curved into a grin. Blue eyes that resembled Clarissa's warmed and sparkled.
"Easily. We'll visit Darnham first."
Clarissa chuckled. "If you keep pawning his silverware, he'll discover it missing and be very cross. He may even shrink our budget by another 10%.
"Humph! Anything I've taken originally belonged to me and my dear sweet Alfie," Grandmama grumbled. "I'm simply reclaiming my property and putting its value toward a more worthy endeavour."
My doomed search for a husband remains worthy in your view.
"Doomed is too severe." Another sip. "I prefer invigorating, like a bracing night swim in uncertain waters. Ah, those are exciting, dear. One is never gladder to be alive than when one is hopelessly adrift, only to reach firm ground, exhausted and shivering, and curious where one's drawers have gone."
Clarissa snorted with laughter and made a note beside the tea expenses. She suspected they could find a better price at the shop in Huntingdon.
"Firm ground awaits you, and when you find it, all your struggles and lost garments will be forgotten."
Grandmama paused.
"A good marriage would solve many problems, Clarissa."
"Yes," she murmured.
"It is hardly your fault gentlemen took no notice of you until this year."
Perhaps we could speak to Mrs. Johnston about taking in our laundry, and we'll reduce our coal deliveries to every 2 weeks instead of 1. The coalman adds a fee to each billing, you know."
"Young men are blind. They chase dazzling lures whilst overlooking far more substantive options dangling beneath their very noses. Appalling state of affairs."
Clarissa slanted her a teasing look. "Substantive? Is that how we're referring to plumpness now?" Grandma huffed.
"You were not plump."
She glanced down. Full bosom, trim waist, lean thighs and arms honed by a love for dancing. But before last year, plump would have been a kindness. Still, Clarissa didn't argue. Grandmama had always been her greatest champion.
"And if you were, what of it? Many girls are plump. It only means you'll last longer in a famine."
Clarissa gestured wryly to the accounts. "Or a budgetary drought?" Grandmama set down her tea.
"Let's go up to London for another season, dear. Firm ground is waiting for you to land upon him."
"One vexing task at a time, She tapped the column for household staff. "We've a decision to make about the maids first." With an impatient sigh, Grandmama threw up her hands.
"I cannot possibly dismiss any of them. Those girls all have families to support. They've worked tirelessly."
"We must, Grandmama."
"A generous husband would rescue you from this drudgery, you know."
Clarissa smiled. "And you? I would insist."
"You're a good girl."
"I'm pleased you think so."
"You deserve a good man, with a substantial fortune."
"I'd settle for a slim fortune," she retorted dryly. "Emaciated, even."
No, he must be well positioned."